99% of people are already defeated, and they don't even realize it. They lose not because the world is too cruel, but because they are too weak to control themselves. In a world addicted to comfort, distraction, and vanity, only the Stoic few have the mental armor to rise while others drown. This isn't just a difference in attitude, it's the razor-thin line between living as a slave or a king. They will laugh at your discipline. They will mock your silence. Good Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Let them laugh. Let them misunderstand. You are not building a life for them. You are building a soul for eternity. You must rise above the noise, above the fear, above the endless craving for approval. You must train your mind like a warrior trains his sword. Every temptation resisted is a sharpening." Will it be you? Or will you shrink back into the 99%, swallowed by the noise, the fear, the endless drift toward nothingness? Make the decision now. Burn it into your bones. Live disciplined. Live dangerous. Live eternal. Let your footsteps shake the ground. Let your silence command respect. Let your life roar with the strength of a soul unconquered. The final victory is within your reach. Stretch out your hand. Clench it into a fist. Seize the life you were born to build. And when your last breath comes, let it find you standing, undefeated, unapologetic, unforgettable. Final words. The world does not need more noise. The world needs more silent warriors. The world needs more unbreakable minds. The world needs you at full strength. Do not betray yourself. Do not betray the fire burning inside you. Do not betray the gift of life you were entrusted with. You have one chance, one life, one legacy, one final stand. Rise now and never kneel again. If your soul has been awakened by this message, do not let the fire die. Subscribe now. Join the few who choose strength over surrender. Drop a comment below. I choose the life of the 1%. And share this message with someone you refuse to watch. Fall into mediocrity. The 99% will vanish. The 1% will change the world. Which one are you? Choose now. Every hardship endured is a polishing. Every moment of solitude embraced is a forging. The 99% will die begging for more time. The Stoic will die satisfied because he lived fully with discipline, with courage, with clarity. If you choose this path, you will be lonely, you will be misunderstood, you will be mocked, but you will also be free. And freedom, the Stoics teach, is the only true wealth. When the final hour comes, and it comes for all, you will not tremble like the 99%. You will meet death standing with steady eyes and a heart that knows it has already conquered the only battlefield that ever mattered, the battlefield within. The weak will fall, the fake will collapse, the blind will scream. And you will walk through the ashes, untouched, unstoppable, unforgettable, because you chose the rarest of victories, the conquest of yourself. If you are serious about not becoming part of the 99% who collapse under the weight of life, then you must build yourself differently. A Stoic victory is not won in a single moment of glory. It is forged day after day in the invisible battles that no one sees. The 99% seek quick victories. The Stoic seeks eternal mastery. Seneca taught, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The 99% waste their minds on trivialities. The Stoic sharpens his mind like a blade before battle. Here are the fundamental disciplines that separate the 1% from the herd. First, discipline. Sever your dependence on external validation. Most people are slaves to opinions, Their mood rises and falls with the number of likes, comments, compliments. A Stoic knows, if you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your own integrity. Epictetus. Your virtue, your worth, your dignity must be self-contained. You must walk alone in the storm, indifferent to applause and indifferent to hatred. Second discipline. Dominate your emotions before they dominate you. The 99% are emotional puppets. A rude comment destroys their day. A failure destroys their confidence. A setback destroys their courage. The Stoic responds differently. He does not deny emotions, but he commands them. When anger arises, he steps back. When fear whispers, he walks forward. When sadness weighs down, he lifts his soul with reason. Marcus Aurelius reminds, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Master your mind or be mastered. Third discipline. Embrace hardship as training. The weak flee from pain. The Stoic embraces it. Hardship is not your enemy, it is your gymnasium. Seneca wrote, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Every struggle refines you. Every obstacle polishes your soul. Do not curse your hardships. Thank them. They are the forge of the rare fourth discipline. Practice voluntary discomfort. The masses chase luxury. The Stoic trains through austerity. He fasts when food is abundant. He trains his body when it would be easier to rest. He embraces cold silence. Loneliness, not because he loves pain, but because he loves freedom. Freedom is not being free from hardship. Freedom is being free from the fear of hardship. Fifth discipline. Guard your attention as your most sacred possession. The 99% let the world steal their focus. Notifications, news cycles, endless opinions, pointless arguments. A Stoic guards his attention, like a soldier guards the gate of a fortress. He chooses what enters. He chooses what shapes his mind. What you allow in you become. Feed yourself. Garbage in your mind will rot. Feed yourself. Virtue, wisdom, discipline, and your mind will ascend. Sixth discipline. Detach from the outcome, attach to the process. The masses act only when success is guaranteed. The Stoic acts because action itself is his duty. Whether he wins or loses, he remains steady. Marcus Aurelius taught, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is not what others do that should trouble you, but what you do. Focus on your effort, not the outcome. Build excellence without needing reward. Stay with me because what you're about to hear will rip the blindfold off your eyes, and it may just save your life. Smash subscribe now and comment below. I refuse to be the 99%. Your future self will thank you. 99% of people are not defeated by external forces. They are defeated by themselves. They lose not because the world crushes them, but because they never learned to command their own minds. They never built the inner armor that a Stoic wears every single day. Seventh discipline. Prepare for the worst and remain unbroken when it comes. The 99% are shattered when life strikes. The Stoic expects it. He is never surprised by misfortune. He practices premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He visualizes loss, pain, betrayal, death, not to despair, but to strengthen his mind. When disaster comes, he is already acquainted with its face, and he walks through it, unshaken. Eighth discipline. Choose solitude over the intoxication of crowds. The herd will always seduce you. They will mock your silence. They will pressure your virtue. They will drag you toward mediocrity. The Stoic walks alone if he must. He knows that solitude sharpens, that solitude cleanses, that solitude reveals the truth. It is better to walk alone in the light than to dance blindly with the mob. Ninth discipline. Speak less, endure more. The The world is full of empty words. The Stoic speaks little but acts greatly. Seneca warned, "It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it." You do not need to complain. You do not need to announce your struggle. You need to endure it with strength and to wear your victories not on your tongue, but in your character. 10th discipline. Live every day, ready to die. Memento mori. Every breath is a gift, already slipping away. The 99% live, as if they are immortal. The Stoic lives ready to leave life at any moment. This urgency sharpens every thought, every action, every decision. Marcus Aurelius urged, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Live, so that if death came today, it would find you standing tall, not kneeling in regret." This is the path. This is the battle. This is why only the Stoics win. They do not hope for an easier world. They forge themselves into harder warriors. They do not wait for peace. They build peace within themselves. They do not seek escape. They face life naked with steel in their souls. The 99% will continue falling. The world will continue drowning in noise. You must be the fortress. You must be the fire that the storm cannot extinguish. You must be the proof that victory belongs, not to the loudest, not to the strongest, but to the most disciplined mind. This is your calling, not to blend, not to please, not to survive, but to conquer yourself, and in conquering yourself, to conquer life. Stand up. The war has already begun. The question is not whether you will be tested. The question is whether you will be ready. Be the 1%. Now, if you still believe that the modern world rewards strength, you are asleep. The modern world rewards weakness. It celebrates outrage. It glorifies victimhood. It prizes distraction. And this is exactly why the Stoic mind becomes untouchable. The 99% are prisoners celebrating their chains. The Stoic is the silent warrior who refuses the chains altogether. You must understand, the modern world is designed to keep you soft. It tempts you at every turn to abandon your reason, your courage, your clarity. Only a mind forged in Stoic fire can survive untouched. This is the way. The 1% stay untouchable. First truth. They see through the illusions. Most people are trapped in endless games. They don't even realize they're playing. Status games, wealth games, popularity games. A Stoic sees clearly. None of these games matter, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself. Ambition means tying your well-being to what other people say or do. Sanity means tying it to your own actions. The 1% anchor their sanity in their own judgment, not in the applause or condemnation of the mob. Second truth. They weaponize silence, while the 99% are screaming, reacting, complaining. The Stoic is silent, not out of weakness, but out of supreme strength. Epictetus taught, "If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against the accusations, but reply, 'You obviously don't know me very well.' Silence becomes a fortress. It denies enemies the battle they crave. It denies fools the energy they seek to drain." Third truth. They master detachment. The masses are entangled in every crisis, every outrage, every foolish distraction. The Stoic observes, but he does not absorb. He knows that what is outside his control deserves only observation, not obsession. His soul remains serene, while the world burns in its own foolishness. Fourth truth. They sharpen their reason daily. The 1% treat reason as sacred. They question their emotions. They examine their impulses. They interrogate their assumptions. They do not trust feelings blindly. They subject every belief to the scalpel of logic. A Stoic mind is a blade honed daily against the stone of reality. In a world addicted to comfort, vanity, and noise, discipline is the rarest currency, and only the Stoics possess it. Epictetus warned, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. 99% of people spend their lives enslaved to what they cannot control. They crave approval, they chase comfort, they drown in distraction, and every moment they do, they surrender a piece of their soul. The Stoic refuses. Fifth truth. They live in the present moment ferociously. The 99% drift between regrets of the past and anxieties about the future. The Stoic stands planted in the now. Marcus Aurelius demanded of himself, "Confine yourself to the present, because the present is all you ever truly own." The Stoic mind refuses to surrender it to fantasy, fear, or nostalgia. Sixth truth. They embrace the hard path always. Comfort is a poison. Ease is a slow death. The 1% actively choose the harder road. They say no to easy pleasures. They say yes to disciplined hardships. They know that every moment of voluntary struggle builds invisible reserves of power that will one day make them unstoppable. Seventh truth. They find strength in solitude. The modern world fears being alone. It fills every silence with noise, every empty space with distraction. The Stoic embraces solitude because he knows. In solitude, he faces himself. In solitude, he refines himself. In solitude, he becomes invincible. Eighth truth. They train emotional endurance, like soldiers train physical endurance. The Stoic mind does not flinch at insult. It does not crumble at hardship. It does not collapse at betrayal. Because it expects these things. Seneca taught, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The 1% welcome friction. They welcome trials. They are building themselves into something the soft world cannot even comprehend. Ninth truth. They live by timeless principles, not by shifting trends. The herd chases whatever is fashionable today. The Stoic mind roots itself in eternal laws: courage, wisdom, justice, temperance. The 1% are unmoved by trends because they stand upon the bedrock of truth. 10th truth. They see death as their final teacher and live accordingly. While the 99% pretend they are immortal, wasting days, wasting decades, the Stoic carries death on his shoulder. Memento mori. Every action is sharpened by the knowledge that time is bleeding away. This urgency is not panic, it is fuel. It drives the 1% to live more fiercely, love more purely, act more decisively, because they know there are no guarantees, there are no second chances. There is only now. The modern world will continue its madness. The masses will continue their sleepwalking. The chaos will not stop. But you can choose another way. You can choose the mind of a Stoic. Silent when others scream. Focused when others drift. Enduring when others collapse. Free when others beg for chains. The 99% will never understand your strength. They were never meant to. You were not born to be understood. You were born to be unstoppable. Rise. Forge your mind into a weapon sharper than confusion, stronger than fear, and more enduring than time itself. Become the Stoic mind that walks untouched through the ruins of an empire built on weakness. This is your destiny. Seize it. Now there is a soul that cannot be broken. It does not crack under pressure. It does not tremble before fear. It does not surrender even when the world demands its knees. It is the invincible Stoic soul, and it is forged, not gifted. The 99% believe strength is inherited. The Stoic knows strength is created. Every battle, every hardship, every moment of resistance builds the soul into something the storms of life cannot touch. You want to become untouchable? Then prepare to forge yourself through fire. This is how. First, forge. Face pain without flinching. Pain is the forge of the soul. The 99% curse their pain. The Stoic blesses it. Seneca taught, fire tests gold. Suffering tests brave men. But when pain comes, welcome it. As a master, craftsman welcomes the hammer on the anvil. Let it strike you. Let it burn away the weakness. Let it reveal the iron underneath. Second forge, voluntarily walk toward discomfort. A soul wrapped in comfort will rot. The Stoic deliberately chooses discomfort, waking early, training harder, choosing silence when rage is easier, choosing solitude when distraction is tempting. Every voluntary hardship is a scar that hardens the soul. Third forge, refuse to be ruled by passion. The 99% are slaves to anger, jealousy, lust, fear. The Stoic is a king in his own mind. Marcus Aurelius commanded, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. When passion surges, pause. When emotion blinds, step back. Rule yourself or be ruled forever." Fourth forge, hold your principles higher than your comfort. The weak sell their souls cheaply. The Stoic dies before he betrays his principles. Courage, wisdom, justice. The Stoic stands where others kneel. You are not here to survive like the 99%. You are here to conquer like the 1%, who understand that self-mastery is the only true victory. This is why most people fail. They wake up and immediately hand their minds to the world. They open their phones. They scroll mindlessly. They rage at headlines. They seek validation from strangers who do not even know their names. By noon, they have already lost the battle for their own souls. Self-control. These are not suggestions. They are laws carved into the stone of your being. Live by them, or be crushed by the weight of your own betrayal. Fifth forge, laugh at misfortune. The world expects you to collapse when tragedy strikes. The Stoic smiles. Seneca wrote, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Pain is expected. Loss is guaranteed. Misfortune is inevitable. Face it all with a warrior's grin." Sixth forge, speak less about your principles. Live them more fiercely. Words are cheap. Deeds are eternal. Do not announce your strength. Demonstrate it in silence. Do not preach discipline. Bleed it into your life. Let your existence be the sermon. Seventh forge, accept your insignificance and transcend it. The 99% either inflate their egos or drown in self-pity. The Stoic accepts, you are dust. You are a breath. You are nothing. And because you are nothing, you are free. Nothing to prove. Nothing to defend. Only the purity of right action remains. Eighth forge, treat life as a test. You were born to pass. Every insult is a test of patience. Every temptation is a test of discipline. Every setback is a test of endurance. The Stoic does not whine. Why me? He says, I was made for this. Epictetus taught, difficulties show what men are. Face each test not with fear, but with fierce gratitude. Ninth forge, sharpen your contempt for mediocrity. Do not tolerate laziness in yourself. Do not tolerate cowardice in yourself. Do not tolerate self-pity in yourself. The Stoic soul thrives because it refuses to settle for anything less than excellence, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. 10th forge, die every day and be reborn stronger. Every day, let the old weakness die. Every day, let the old fear die. Every day, let the old excuses die. Memento mori. You could leave life at any moment. Let every sunset find you stronger than you were at dawn. This is the forging of the invincible Stoic soul. It is not glamorous. It is not applauded. It is not easy. It is brutal. It is lonely. It is magnificent. When others crumble, you stand. When others scream, you endure. When others fade, you burn brighter, because you have built yourself into something the world cannot break, because you have chosen a path the 99% fear even to look at, because you have decided that true victory is not comfort, applause, or success, but the quiet, unshakable knowledge that you are unbreakable. The world will continue its madness. The noise will continue its screaming. The storms will continue their destruction. Let them. You are no longer part of the chaos. You are the rock against which the chaos shatters. You are the Stoic. You are the fortress. You are the flame, and nothing can touch you now. There is a final test that separates the rare from the many. It is not strength. It is not intelligence. It is not skill. It is the ability to walk alone. The 99% cannot stand even a moment without approval, applause, distraction. But the Stoic soul rises higher because it no longer needs anything from the world. It surpasses. This is the test. Most fear. This is the test. Most fail. And this is how you pass it. First step. Accept absolute solitude without bitterness. You will lose friends. You will lose admirers. You will lose the herd. Because when you refuse to kneel, you become a threat to their illusions. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Let them misunderstand you. Let them call you cold. Let them call you arrogant. You owe them nothing. You owe yourself everything. Second step. Detach from the need to be seen. The 99% scream for attention. The Stoic disappears into the forge of private discipline. It is enough that you act rightly. It is enough that you live with courage. It is enough that your soul shines silently in the dark. Visibility means nothing. Victory is within. Third step. Choose self-respect over belonging. The world will offer you a seat if you betray yourself. It will offer you comfort if you kneel. The Stoic chooses exile over compromise. He would rather be hated for strength than loved for weakness. Fourth step. Welcome the silence as your companion. In the absence of noise, your real self emerges. Most are terrified of the silence because they are terrified of what they will find. The Stoic enters the silence and smiles. He walks alone in barren fields, and he finds gold there. Fifth step. Expect betrayal and stay unmoved. Not everyone can follow you into the higher air. Some will betray you. Some will abandon you. Some will curse your name. Let them. A Stoic wakes differently. He begins with silence. He begins with reflection. He reminds himself of what Marcus Aurelius wrote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. While the masses seek entertainment, the Stoic seeks endurance. While the weak chase feelings, the Stoic cultivates fortitude. While the blind chase shadows, the Stoic sharpens reality into a sword. The 99% are ruled by impulses. The Stoic is ruled by reason. Seneca reminds, a gem cannot be polished without friction. Their betrayal is not your failure. Their weakness is not your concern. You keep walking. Sixth step. Build a soul that does not need to be understood. The desperate need to be understood is a chain. Cut it. You are not here to be decoded by the masses. You are here to burn with a fire so pure that only those who have walked through their own hells can recognize it. Walk your road with dignity. Seventh step. Find your comrades among the few, but expect none. There are others rare, scattered hidden. You may find them by the fire they carry in their eyes, but never depend on finding them. You must be enough for yourself. And if destiny brings brothers to your side, fight together with the silent bond that only warriors understand. Eighth step. See loneliness as the sharpening of your spirit. Loneliness is not punishment, it is purification. It is the stripping away of illusions, attachments, weaknesses. The Stoic walks through the desert and finds water springing from within. His soul becomes a self-sustaining fire. Ninth step, measure your worth by your own inner court. The 99% beg for judgment from others. The Stoic judges himself by one measure only. Did I live according to reason and virtue today? Nothing else matters. Not the applause, not the mockery, not the silence. Only the verdict of your own soul matters. 10th step. Die with no one knowing your name, yet die undefeated. The ultimate freedom. To live greatly without needing recognition. To die nobly without needing witnesses. The herd fears dying unknown. The Stoic fears only dying without honor. You are building a legacy that is invisible to the blind. You are building a kingdom that cannot be seen by eyes trained to worship vanity. Walk alone, walk higher, walk deeper. And when death comes, you will greet it, not with trembling hands, but with a smile that says, I needed nothing. I conquered everything. The final test is here. You are either building the soul that walks alone with joy, or you are clinging to the herd with fear. Choose right now. Choose to walk into the silence. Choose to carry your fire through the empty streets. Choose to be the legend written not in the books of men, but in the eternal scrolls of virtue. The 99% will never understand you. They were never meant to. You are not one of them. You are the Stoic soul that stands where others fall. You are the iron that does not bend. You are the fire that does not die. You are the storm that does not scream. Walk alone and know that in the eyes of eternity, you walk crowned with glory. This is your path. Seize it. Now there is a conquest greater than wealth. There is a victory deeper than fame. There is a crown heavier and holier than any gold on earth. It is the Stoic conquest, building a legacy no one can erase. The 99% spend their lives chasing shadows, chasing approval, chasing comfort, chasing noise. And when they die, they vanish without a trace. The Stoic lives differently. The Stoic builds a life so real, so raw, so true, that even death cannot silence it. Here's how you conquer time itself. First law, build your life around eternal values, not temporary victories. The world rewards cheap wins, viral fame, instant riches, empty applause. The Stoic ignores them all. He aligns every breath with values that outlast empires: courage, wisdom, justice, self-control. Seneca said, we should every day call upon death, summon it before our minds. Because when you live ready to die, only the eternal matters. Second law, create more strength than you consume. The 99% drain the world. The Stoic strengthens it. In every encounter, the Stoic leaves others sharper, braver, more alive. He does not gossip, he teaches. He does not criticize, he challenges. He does not complain, he constructs. His legacy is not written in monuments, it is carved into the souls. He ignites. Third law, plant seeds you may never live to see bloom. The coward demands immediate results. The Stoic plants oak trees under whose shade he will never sit. He writes, he teaches, he fights, he creates. Not for the applause of today, but for the salvation of tomorrow. Fourth law, stay invisible if necessary, unstoppable always. You do not need the world to notice your greatness. Greatness, real greatness, often blooms in silence. Epictetus reminds us, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. You do not have to shout. You do not have to boast. Most people will spend their entire lives reacting. Reacting to insults, reacting to pleasures, reacting to fear. The Stoic practices, the hardest art, choosing his reactions deliberately. When attacked, he responds with calm. When tempted, he responds with discipline. When challenged, he responds with clarity. It is not the world that makes you weak. It is your own failure to govern yourself. The 99% crumble under pressure because they never trained. You must live in a way that reality itself is shaped by your existence. Fifth law, face betrayal without becoming bitter. You will be betrayed. Your sacrifices will be mocked. Your loyalty will be abused. Your greatness will be envied. Let it happen. Every betrayal is an opportunity to purify your mission. Your commitment is not to their gratitude, it is to your virtue. Sixth law, endure invisibility, obscurity, and misunderstanding. Like a warrior, there will be years when no one understands you, when no one applauds, when no one cares. Good Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Be rich in silence. Be wealthy in discipline. The fruits will come, but only for those who endure the barren seasons without flinching. Seventh law, live so that when you die, even your enemies must respect you. They may hate you, they may envy you, but they will know you are real. You stood, you endured, you lived fully without surrender. Your life will cast a shadow so strong that even those who never dared to follow will feel your presence long after you are gone. Eighth law, sacrifice everything that weakens your soul. Comfort, excuses, vanity, cowardice. The Stoic sacrifices them daily on the altar of excellence. Nothing soft survives in the soul of a conqueror. You must be willing to lose everything false to gain everything real. Ninth law, outlast the noise. Trends will pass. Mobs will rage and die. Empires will rise and crumble. The Stoic does not panic. The Stoic does not rush. He moves like a glacier, slow, unstoppable, eternal. You will be forgotten by the world if you chase its fads. You will be remembered by eternity if you forge your soul into an unbreakable monument. 10th law, die undefeated. The only thing death can take from you is your body. If you have lived rightly, it cannot touch your true self. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. When death comes, greet it standing, with your honor intact, with your virtue shining, with your mission completed. Let the world mourn its own failures. You will leave undefeated. You will have conquered yourself, and in doing so, you will have conquered everything that ever mattered." This is the Stoic conquest. Not the conquest of others, not the conquest of lands, not the conquest of riches, but the conquest of the one empire that matters most, your own soul. It is harder than any battlefield. It is lonelier than any campaign. It is more sacred than any crown. And it is the only victory that death itself must bow before. The 99% will vanish without impact. You will echo in eternity. Rise now. Build your soul into a fortress. Forge your life into a legacy. Fight every day to carve yourself into something the world cannot break and time cannot erase. You were not born to fade. You were not born to beg. You were born to conquer. The fire is in you. The time is now. Seize it forever. There is a way to live so fiercely, so rightly, so purely, that even death must step aside. It is the path of the Stoic immortal. The soul that lives beyond the grave, not in name, not in statues, but in the unbreakable spirit. It leaves burning across the ages. You do not become immortal by accident. You become immortal by discipline, carved into the very marrow of your being. This is how first principle. Anchor your entire life in what cannot die. Fame will die, wealth will die, pleasure will die. But courage does not die. Wisdom does not die. Virtue does not die. Seneca wrote, "A good character once established endures forever. Your fortune may crumble, your body may wither, but your character that endures beyond dust, build it, sharpen it, bleed for it. Second principle, treat each act as if it seals your legacy. There are no small actions for the Stoic. Every word you speak, every decision you make, every battle you fight or flee, each one chisels your soul deeper into the stone of eternity. Marcus Aurelius demanded, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." Live that way. Third principle, see your death every day and rise above it every morning. Memento, mori is not a threat, it is an invitation. The weak fear death and waste life. The Stoic accepts death and uses life like a sword. Every morning, today I could die. They mistook comfort for progress. They mistook pleasure for happiness. Seneca warned, "It is not that we are given a short life, but that we make it short by wasting it." Every mindless scroll, every meaningless argument, every wasted breath spent chasing the approval of others, it shortens your life, not in years, but in meaning. The Stoic lives differently. He treats every day as a battlefield, every thought as a soldier, every moment as an opportunity to grow stronger or weaker. Every evening, did I live rightly enough to meet death without shame? Fourth principle, fight battles that will outlive your breath. The Stoic does not waste himself on trivial feuds. He chooses battles worthy of eternity, battles for truth, battles for virtue, battles for the soul of mankind itself. Your life is too short for pettiness and too sacred for cowardice. Fifth principle, master the art of living, invisible yet invincible. You do not need monuments. Your monument is the strength you leave behind in others. Your echo is the discipline you awaken in silent witnesses. Your immortality is the courage you ignite in those too afraid to move. You are not seeking to be remembered. You are seeking to make remembering irrelevant. You are building a fire so fierce it lights futures unseen. Sixth principle, sacrifice yourself for a cause greater than yourself. The selfish life dies the second the heart stops beating. The selfless life echoes across centuries. The Stoic surrenders his comfort for the sake of higher duty, to live as a beacon, to die as a seed. The coward hoards his life and loses it. The Stoic spends his life and conquers death itself. Seventh principle, refuse to beg fate for mercy. Whatever fortune brings fortune loss, betrayal pain, you do not kneel, you stand, you endure, you dominate. Epictetus reminded, it is not things themselves that disturb us but our opinions about them. Control your mind and fate becomes your servant. Eighth principle, endure mockery, hatred, abandonment, silently and proudly. The 99% will never understand a Stoic who builds in silence and stands without applause. They will sneer, they will conspire, they will hope you fall. Smile. Their noise is the music of your coming immortality. Ninth principle, die daily to weakness, each day a death. The death of a cowardice you once tolerated, the death of a vanity you once embraced, the death of a distraction you once justified. The Stoic dies thousands of tiny deaths before his final breath, so that when real death comes, it finds nothing left to take. 10th principle, live every second with the fury of someone racing against oblivion. Because you are not promised another moment. You are not guaranteed another sunrise. The Stoic feels the sand slipping through the glass and moves with the energy of a soul unwilling to die ordinary. When death finally touches your shoulder, let it find you mid-stride, still building, still fighting, still burning, with a fire too wild to extinguish. This is how you live beyond death. This is how you become the Stoic immortal. By refusing every day to kneel to fear. By surrendering every breath to the altar of virtue. By treating every action as a blow against oblivion. The 99% are already dead inside. They drift, they complain, they decay. You carve your soul into a sword that even time cannot dull. You write your legacy, not with words, but with blood. Sweat, discipline, sacrifice. You live with the savage grace of one who understands the final truth, that death can only claim your body. It can never claim a life lived like this. So rise, speak less, act fiercely, burn brighter. And when your last breath escapes your lips, let the universe itself bear witness. Here died a Stoic immortal, and death could not erase him. The world does not need your permission to ignore you, and you do not need the world's permission to change it. The Stoic understands this. You shape the world not through noise, but through being unbreakable. The 99% beg to be heard. They shout, they demand, they crave acknowledgement. The Stoic moves in silence, and the world bends to him without realizing it. This is the unbreakable legacy. This is how you forge it. First reality. You owe the world nothing but your best self, not your explanations, not your compromises, not your apologies. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. The world may not deserve your energy, but it needs your example. Show it how a human being should live without asking for applause." Second reality. You do not wait for permission to be great. The 99% wait for validation, for the perfect moment, for someone to tell them it's okay. The Stoic moves before the world is ready. He lives by his principles before they are popular. He acts as if he carries a duty far higher than the shifting opinions of men, because he does. Third reality. Your influence is forged in your unseen battles, not in the speeches, not in the announcements, not in the headlines, and he chooses strength. You must understand, the world is not fair, the world does not care, and no one will save you but yourself. The 99% live, waiting for someone to fix their lives. The Stoic seizes life by the throat and bends it to his will. This is why Stoics win where others fall. They do not complain, they adapt. They do not despair, they endure. They do not wish, they act. The 99% lose because they never built a foundation strong enough to withstand the storms. But in the moments no one sees, when you resist the easy lie, when you choose discipline in the dark, when you stand alone in the face of temptation, the true legacy is built, one invisible decision at a time. Fourth reality. You are a lighthouse, not a lifeboat. You are not here to drag everyone to safety. You are here to shine, so that those ready to rise will find their own strength. You do not beg the drowning to swim. You burn so fiercely that they remember they were born to breathe air, not water. The Stoic saves not by force, but by example. Fifth reality. Your life must be a declaration, not a debate. You do not argue your philosophy, you embody it. When others demand, you explain your calm in chaos, your strength in weakness, your silence in noise. You answer not with words, but with the undeniable presence of who you are. You are the proof. Sixth reality. You will plant more seeds than you will ever see bloom. You will influence souls you will never meet. You will inspire actions you will never witness. This is not tragedy, it is triumph. You are building a cathedral whose roof you may never see completed, but the work itself sanctifies your existence. Seventh reality. You will endure hatred without retaliation. The world hates what it does not understand. You will be mocked for your strength. You will be attacked for your silence. You will be resented for your excellence. Good Marcus Aurelius reminds, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Let your calm be your answer. Let your discipline be your shield. Let your virtue be your eternal vengeance. Eighth reality. You will live invisible to the masses and unforgettable to the worthy. The herd will never notice you, but those few fighting their own battles in silence, they will see your fire across the darkness. You are not here for the many. You are here for the few who still dare to rise. Ninth reality. You will measure your success by the strength of your soul, not the size of your empire. The 99% will chase numbers. You will chase inner sovereignty. The only scoreboard that matters is this. Did I master myself today? Nothing else. Not views, not followers, not gold, just mastery. 10th reality. You will die knowing you left nothing undone. You will not fear the final breath. You will welcome it, knowing you lived as a hammer against mediocrity, a sword against cowardice, a flame against darkness. Your name may be forgotten, but your impact, your invisible, indestructible impact will pulse through the veins of those who rise because you once dared to rise alone. This is the unbreakable legacy. It is not a monument. It is not a headline. It is not a eulogy. It is the silent shaping of the future by a soul who refused to kneel to the present. The 99% will vanish without leaving a ripple. You will become a silent architect of eternity. You will shape destinies unseen. You will light fires in hearts unborn. You will be the invisible force behind revolutions of spirit, and you will need no recognition, because the Stoic does not live for applause. The Stoic lives for truth. The Stoic lives for excellence. The Stoic lives for the unbreakable legacy that not even death can destroy. This is your charge. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now rise. Shape the world. Without asking, carve your virtue into the bones of time and walk forward, silent, unstoppable, eternal. There's a final victory greater than any conquest on earth. It is not winning battles. It is not building empires. It is not being remembered. It is dying without regrets and living without fear. The 99% will crawl toward death filled with terror, terrified of the wasted time, terrified of the words they never spoke, terrified of the battles they never fought. But the Stoic walks into death with steady eyes and a peaceful heart, because he lived fully, fiercely, rightly. This is the final victory, and this is how you claim it. First step: live every day as if it closes. The book, Seneca said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life." You may not have tomorrow. You may not have another sunrise. Speak the truth today. Act with courage today. Forgive today. Fight today. Do not leave your greatness for a future that may never come. Second step: carry death on your shoulder, not in your fears. The coward runs from death. The Stoic walks with it. Every breath you take is a reminder. This is a gift. This is fleeting. This is sacred. Memento. Mori is not a threat. It is an awakening. It sharpens your urgency. The Stoic is a living fortress. When failure comes, and it will, he does not crumble. He absorbs it. He learns from it. He grows stronger. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, war, plague, and death, and yet his soul remained unbroken. You face distractions, criticism, temptation, and you think your suffering is too much. You are capable of far more than you believe. If you stop seeking comfort and start seeking mastery, The 99% will tell you it's impossible. It clarifies your purpose. It annihilates your excuses. Third step. Refuse to let fear dictate your life. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of humiliation. These are the chains that bind the 99%. The Stoic cuts them all. Marcus Aurelius commanded himself, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Fear is not your enemy. Inaction is fourth step. Make peace with the fact that you will be forgotten and live fiercely anyway. You will not be a household name. You will not be worshipped by millions. Good, you are not here for fame. You are here for fire. The Stoic does not live to be remembered. He lives so that for as long as his heart beats, he stands as a monument of what is possible for the human soul. Fifth step. Love harder. Fight harder. Forgive faster. The 99% love when it's safe. Fight when it's easy. Forgive when it's convenient. The Stoic loves without fear, fights without waiting for certainty, forgives without clinging to bitterness, because he knows time is running out. There are no guaranteed second chances. Sixth step. Waste no energy on petty battles, the petty arguments, the empty competitions, the mindless gossip. Let the 99% waste their precious hours. You conserve your energy for battles that matter. Building character, forging discipline, living in such a way that death itself must nod in respect. Seventh step. Master the art of letting go. Let go of what you cannot control. Let go of who you cannot save. Let go of what you must leave behind. Epictetus reminds, some things are up to us, and some are not. The Stoic does not rage against the river. He navigates it with skill, strength, and serenity. Eighth step. Choose suffering for virtue, over comfort for cowardice. The world will offer you 1,000 ways to escape. Distraction, luxury, addiction. The Stoic chooses the harder way, the way that builds the soul, even as it breaks the body. He would rather suffer with honor than live with regret. Ninth step. Treat every action as your signature on the scroll of eternity. Every choice you make writes the story of your soul. Make it a story of defiance against weakness. Make it a story of battles fought in silence. Make it a story of unbreakable dignity. You are the author. Write well. 10th step. Die standing. When the final moment comes, do not kneel. Do not beg. Do not regret. Meet death as a warrior meets an old friend. With no apologies, with no unfinished business, with no wasted potential. Let your final breath be a victory cry. I lived. I fought. I stood. I am ready. This is the Stoic's final and greatest triumph. Not that he avoided death, not that he outlived others, not that he was celebrated, but that he died as he lived. Fearless, free, fierce. And long after his body returns to dust, his example lives on, whispered in the actions of those he inspired, echoed in the battles fought by those who dared to rise, written into the invisible architecture of a better world. The 99% will die asking, what if? You will die declaring, I did. The herd will leave the world unchanged. You will leave the world stronger than you found it. This is the final victory. This is the path of the Stoic. This is your destiny. Do not waste another breath. Seize it. Now you have walked through fire. You have faced the brutal truths the 99% flee from. You have seen the path few even dare to imagine. This is the final call. You stand now at the edge of two lives, the life of quiet desperation or the life of ruthless excellence. The world will not reward you for choosing the hard road. The world will not thank you for your discipline. The world will not applaud your silent victories. Good. The Stoic does not live for reward. He lives for the only prize that matters: mastery of himself. This is what the 99% will never understand. Freedom is not given, it is seized. Strength is not gifted, it is built. Legacy is not inherited, it is carved with blood and fire. You are not here to be entertained. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to fit in. You are here to become the calm in the chaos, the fortress in the flood, the flame in the endless dark. Every excuse has been burned away, every illusion shattered, every weakness exposed. There's only the choice: rise or fall, conquer or kneel, live or die, slowly in regret. The time of waiting is over. The age of hoping is dead. The season of becoming is now. The Stoics who came before you, Marcus Seneca, Epictetus, they are watching, not from some distant heaven, not from dusty books, but from the fire they left burning across centuries, waiting for someone to carry it forward.